Good morning, it's Tanya Cole from Tanya Cole Arts here. Uh, Today I thought I'd talk to you about the wonderful rhythm, quirks and gifts that creative expression gives us. And probably the best day to do it is today, given that I've only had 3.5 hours sleep because my creativity kept me awake. And it does that. It strikes at the most unexpected times, and you've got to run with it when it does, because it can be a long time in between drinks. So, yes, this morning as I almost poked out the eyes of fellow mums with my umbrella in my sleep-deprived haze as I dropped my kids to school, and very nearly put Caniston on my toothbrush instead of toothpaste. This is the wonderful effects of creativity and it having a life of its own, very sleep deprived, but so amped from midnight till 3 o'clock this morning. So once we say yes to the invitation to be creative, there's many things that we can do to foster it and welcome it in and invite it in deeper. And there's lots of things that can happen or that we can do that also shuts off the oxygen flow to our creativity. And I just thought I'd talk about those things. It very much has its own rhythm, our creative flow, as a lot of you would know, and for those of you that are practicing artists, it becomes part of who we are, and there's I guess a softening to the edges of our creative angst when it seems to have left us, or we're just not feeling that mojo. We begin to accept that there will be ebbs and flows without getting worried that it's never going to come back again. It is very much just part of the creative process and the rhythms of life, and just part of being human. So once you get clear on what your particular creative rhythm is, and the things that influence it, you can start to coax it and play with it and have more of a relationship with it. Having said that, I definitely haven't tamed my creativity, however that might be, if that was possible. I had the intention of going to bed early last night because I had a lot on today, but I just was so wired with so many thoughts going through my mind and ideas, and I had to get up and make myself a Milo and get a piece of paper and a pen and just jot down these ideas. It was like this download was happening, and I had to get them out of my head like a brain dump in order for my mind to shut off and allow me to go to sleep. So it's a nuisance when it strikes like that, but it's still a welcome visitor, because it makes up for those long stretches where the creativity juices just aren't flowing. So to talk about those times, from my own personal experience, it has been when there's a lot of stress going on, quite significant life events shut down my creativity. I think it's almost perhaps that we go so far into our left brain fear area in our minds of worry, that you can get stuck there for a bit and not come back into the right brain place full of possibility and fun and play, I suppose. If we're looking at the right brain being our childlike fun and exploratory type side of our mind, when life is very, very serious, we hang out over here in left brain world, and I guess that's to be expected. It's a little bit in that survival mode. So I think during those times, I've just noticed the spots on the back of my painting look like they're sparkling like stars, but that could be my sleep deprived mind and eyes. During those times when there is a drought with creativity, whatever that reason may be, it's a time to be really compassionate with ourselves and not get more rigid and resist what life is making us feel during that time. But there's lots of things we can do as part of our self-compassion to our artists, our compassion to our artists within, to just keep things ticking along and nurturing it. And some of those things are just journaling and doing little creative warm-ups. No major expectation of amazing output or products created at the end of the day, merely just sitting with where we're at, what's going on in our lives, feeling, connecting, expressing, mark making, and that it's still creative fodder that is something that you can draw back on later, but it's really just about being compassionate and showing our commitment to our creativity by still turning up the journal and doing some creative mark making. Indulging in other areas. It might not be art making, it might be just escaping into the imaginal realm of reading a fantasy novel or, going out in nature. Very soft and gentle sort of creative dabbling, I guess. Yeah, so that's kind of my experience and what I need to do when I get creatively blocked. But then when the creative juices are flowing, how to manage that when there's not much sleep to be had. Well, I'm lucky that I have the flexibility with my days, that I can sort of absorb that lack of sleep. And subconsciously, I probably knew that last night, that I didn't have any clients booked in today, so I didn't have to be on my game to do the best I could for my clients. So I could kind of indulge it, I guess, even though I was wanting to sleep, it just wasn't coming. So having a journal beside your bed and a pen just to record any downloads or messages that come through and ideas, and you can sort of draw into that a little bit later on. I had so many ideas about what to talk about and I think the sleep deprivation is kicking in, but creativity is accessible to everybody. We all have the ability to be creative, but often we're just all residing in left brain land. The seriousness, the rigidity, the expectations of society with work and our roles keep us locked often in that left brain thinking mode. But at some point, most, if not all people, will get the tap on the shoulder from their soul to say, there's more of you to meet of yourself within. And creativity is an amazing tool and vehicle to access deeper parts of yourself, beyond the ego mind and our conscious mind. And often, we are expressing creativity in a myriad of ways without even realising it. Just our choices when we purchase soft furnishing or home decor, our preferences and our artistic style is letting itself be known by the choices you make. And once as again, I say you say yes to the invitation to be creative, and you become consciously aware of moments of creative expression, you start to develop that relationship with it, and then wanting to nurture it further and develop it further to see where it goes. So I encourage you all to connect with your creativity and be sleep deprived like me. But no, it's a beast of its own, and it's got some beautiful, wonderful gifts, deeply enriching gifts for our lives. And I think I'm showing the passionate madness of my creativity at the moment, of letting it impact on my sleep and my functioning. But sometimes I let that process flow and go through just to observe it and learn as well. So I think I'll finish here, and I'll be back again for another creativity, living your life creatively update. So have a great day. See ya.